put them under pressure. The game is about being effective, being aggressive, winning the ball, getting on with the play. We'll put them under pressure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thfc Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou as he takes us to glory to top four. As he said yesterday in his post-press conference, top four isn't a trophy. Top four is just top four. It just guarantees you Champions League football, and he was so damn right. He's big up to Ange, the man that would scare you going down a dark tunnel on a Wednesday afternoon. Anyway, how are you all? I hope you're all doing well on this lovely, warm, sunny Tuesday afternoon. The worst day of the week is over, Monday, thank God. And talk a little bit about the match last night. I will talk about that after I welcome a few people in. The draw for the Women's European Championships was drawn today. And who did we get? Lo and behold, we get them lot across the water. Of course, with France and Sweden. We're talking a little bit about the news that's around Tottenham, a little bit about the match tonight, as well the game we're covering live here on THFC. Kane's last chance of a trophy. Let's all not laugh at once. And I'm saying now, I want Harry Kane to win the Champions League. I just want him to win something. But there's a dilemma. I don't want Eric Dyer to win anything. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situations, a bit like the chicken and the egg. You know, I don't want Eric Dyer to win something, but I wouldn't mind Harry Kane winning something. So I don't know where we go with that. If you're all wondering where the Godfather is, he's in Dublin, doing what he normally does, drumming on the Tuesday night. It's a bit like some big drummer from Queen or somebody like that is in the background, he would be there. That's where Mr. Brady is. Let's see who's in the chat, and we'll crack on with the show. Greg Selnet, big up, Greg. Greg Selnet, it says, good afternoon, the Dermitator. I like that, Derminator. I like that. Yeah, like that. Big up, Greg. Hope you're doing well, sir. We've got the one and only Carl, the Truth Simpson, is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Big up, Carl. He says, good afternoon, gents, and everyone in the chat. Good afternoon, Carl. Carl, the Truth Simpson. There you go. There's you. If you're a boxer, Carl, that would be your nickname. Carl, the Truth Simpson. There you go. Afternoon, Wembley one. He says, afternoon, everyone. The thought struck me last night. Would we be able to go up to Sheffield United and so effortlessly cruise past them? If we're bringing honest, we all know the answer. That game worried me last night, I have to say. That worried me, and it worries me them coming to our place. Now, I have to say, Sheffield United have to be the worst side in the Premier League, and I agree with that. They gave up after the third goal. It was like, well, okay, we can't be bothered anymore. But it worried me. A lot of people say it's only Sheffield United, but it worried me. So that game at our place is going to be hard. But I get your point, Wembley. I can't see it's going up there, putting 6 past them. It depends. But I would love to think we could. Big up Chris as well. Big up, everyone. Hope you're all well. Big up, Chris. Hope you are doing well as well. We've got my usual commander-in-chief, as I call him. He's the commander. Big up, Colin. Hope you're doing all right, matey. He's hiding somewhere in Manchester. Looking for Ten Hag's replacement. Probably find a Phil Mitchell or somebody in the pub in Manchester. Or Noel Gallagher. Do you fancy the job at United? Yeah, I'll take it. There you go. That's what Colin's up to. Carl Simpson says, oh no, Philip's not here. You know what that means? It's getting away with murder time. Sort of. Carl says, not the worst nickname I've ever had. You know, I just thought, well, there was a boxer called Carl the Truth Williams. And I thought, just call you it Carl the Truth Simpson. It sort of rings. And then he also goes on and said, yes, we would. As Sheffield United didn't turn up at all that game. High line, no defence, no pressing, no nothing. You're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Please pardon me. I've got a bit of a sore throat today. So I'm drinking an awful lot of water. Just to keep the old throat sweet and lubricated. Where we're going? Where we're starting? Let's start. Oh, God. Philip's not here. And let's start with this bit of news. Pedro Porro says Tottenham teammate is the best in the world. Who's he talking about? Because he is talking about the one and only Christian Romero. Porro has described Christian Romero as the best centre-back in the world following Tottenham's win over Crystal Palace on Saturday. And I'll tell you one thing. Since we've given him the vice-captaincy, he has not let us down once, apart from the Chelsea game. And that game, I don't think he should have been sent off either. I reckon that was a ludicrous decision, and still do. But Christian Romero has to be one of the best defenders in the world, in my view. And I think he is. I do. I do. And I think he's been fantastic this season for us. I think he's been sensible. He's been responsible. He's sort of cooled his temper down a little bit. And I think he's been absolutely brilliant. So big up to it. And I think he is the best defender in the world at the moment. I can't think of any other defender that will beat him, to be fair. I suppose you guys in the chat will put a few names in, but off the top of my head, I can't think anyone that's better than Romero and in this present time. Now, the draw was made today, guys, for the European Championship for the girls. And again, it's thrown up a little derby. It's Group A3. It's France, England, Sweden, and the Republic of Ireland. So yet again, we play England. So in this sort of case, if the boys can't do it, the bloody girls would do it. But I doubt it because it's men, to be fair. But it's not an easy group for our girls. Really isn't an easy group for the girls in green. Um, I I would hope we'd finish second in that group. I doubt it. France are good. Sweden are both World Cup semi-finalists. England, of course, are the reigning European champions and World Cup finalists as well. I'm not holding much hope, but you never know. You never know. Football's a funny old game. Now, the top two teams from each group in the league will secure a direct qualification to Euro 2025, with a third place heading to a playoff as a seeded team. The fourth place sides will also be seeded for the playoffs, but will be relegated to League B. So, do you know, I would love the girls to do well, but I just can't see them. I would love them to do well, but I think the men have slightly a better chance in beating England than the girls do. But you never know. You never know. Football is a funny old game. Let's see who's come in with that. I took myself out. Oh no, Jesus. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm here. Where's our great host gone? I'm here. I'm here. He's been I was, yeah, the Klingons did come to the house. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm safe. I'm all right. I fought them off. The Enterprise, yeah, Carl came with the Starship Enterprise and helped me. And then Peter saying Galapagos. I don't know. I do not know. I don't know what happened there, by the way. I really do not know what happened there. Let's go back to that. We're not getting smashed by England. You haven't beaten us in 33 years in men for any competitive game. The girls might be a bit different, but do you know what? I think we're going to give you a good game. No matter the boys and the girls are going to give you a good game. We're going to give a good account of ourselves. We rarely are. And I am telling you now, we will not embarrass ourselves against you lot. And this is what gets me about England football fans. Some of them, not all of them, some of them think that they're the best in the world and that every other team's a load of crap. We know our limitations. We know we're not the best football nation in the world. But you one time you did back in '88, you said it was just a walk in the park to beat England, to beat us. And what did we do? We turned up and we spanked your ass. We pulled your trousers down, we gave you a wedgie, and we ran away with the 3 points. It's going to happen in the Aviva. It's going to happen at Wembley. We're going to pull your pants down, give you a wedgie, and run off. That is what Ireland's going to do to England. I don't care what anyone says. I am a delusional Irish fan. We're going to do the double over England. And also beat you in the rugby and beat you in the cricket as well. Anyway, there you go, Carl. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. We've got Matthew Big Up. We've got Dermo banned himself from his channel. I didn't notice. I just didn't know. I didn't know I took myself out. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Right. We've got Dermot. I did get the pic of the rubber duck. I'm going to put it up for tomorrow. Peter, I did get it. So thank you so much. I loved it, by the way. Where's Philip when you need him? Yeah, Philip's somewhere in Dublin, playing the drums and sorting out his next lot of Jaffa cakes, apparently. Dermot bragging about 33 years England not beating them. It's the same like British brag about the 66 World Cup. Totally different about the 66 World Cup. England won that by a default. England won that World Cup by bribing a Russian referee with a load of caviar. I to this that, and I'd love to know Peter's opinion on this. Actually, and I'm going to ask Philip as well. And it's always been the greatest debate, right? Did the ball cross the line? Now, of course, now we've got all the technology to find out if it crossed the line or not. But wouldn't it be nice for once and for all, just to answer the question, did the ball cross the line? And do something with the technology we've got now, just to prove, did it cross the line or not? Because I find it very hard if a linesman from that distant and that speed could have actually saw the ball cross the line. And there's no disrespect to England fans here. You won the World Cup. You scored the third goal. Carl's getting a bit touchy. We all know you scored a third ball, but did it really cross the line? But how did that linesman, Peter? Tell me, how did that linesman come to that decision? Was he put under pressure? Well, I still don't know. I just, it's a very, it's one of those games where you scored if you didn't get the third goal, right, would you have scored the fourth goal? That World Cup for England it went on to sort of luck really a little bit. Jimmy Greaves got injured. You brought in Jeff Hurst, who scored goals. I like Colin's answer. I do like that. And then you got like 86, Maradona's Hand of God. Yeah. And then you got Germany, England against Germany and South Africa when the ball was over the line. You haven't had much. Did you use all your luck up in that one game? I would love to know if somebody's looked into that. I would love to know if somebody's done anything to look at that third goal. Because it's always been the biggest question of all time. Did the ball cross the line? Did it cross the line? Sorry, I'll be back. Sorry. Sorry, I do apologise about that. I was just getting some news brought in. Hang on, I'm just getting some news here from my contact who rang me. So give us 2 minutes. Let's see now. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Right. The news I have got, guys. Just give us 2 minutes. This is just dropped about 2 minutes ago. I'm hearing that discussions have been made for next season. Erik ten Hag will not be the manager next season. He has 3 games to turn it around to remain at the club for the rest of this season. Now, this could be a rumor. We don't know, but I just got the phone call now. That's why I had to come off, so I do apologize. And I'm just, that is the latest I've got. So let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Do you think Ten Hag deserves to stay for the rest of the season? Do you think Ten Hag needs to stay? Needs to stay for the rest of the season? And also, do you feel that he deserves it? And how do you feel Manchester United fans feel of that? So let me know what you think, guys. But that is the latest news. I'm hearing the decision has been made for next season. Erik ten Hag will not be the manager next season, and he has 3 games to turn it around to remain at the club for the rest of the season. Now, this is just a rumor, but we're waiting to see more. What's happening? And for me, just give us 2 minutes, guys. I've just got sorry. I very much apologize about this. Sorry. Do you know what? It's just been one of those days when everything has gone wrong, will go wrong, all that. This is when you need a co-host for today. Right, let's go back here. Just a walk in the park since 66. Maybe so, Colin May. Peter says, I am an England fan, but never considered England to be above the others. When Poland knocked England out of the World Cup qualifiers in 73, the illusion of England football was shattered for good. I think so too, Carl. And look, for me back then, England were the world champions that got to the quarterfinals of the 70 World Cup. Sir Alf Ramsey, you still had the nucleus, you still had some of the players from 66 playing in that team. And it's a game you should have won. I've watched the game like on YouTube. It's a game you should have won. You had your chances. Again, it's all about taking chances. You know what I think we would discuss it at it nearer the time. Yeah, I know what you think, Carly. Yeah, nice one for the rubber duck. Yeah, that is coming. The rubber duck has become the duck has become the new animal of the channel. There you go. Dermo, you're a disgrace. No, I'm not. We all know the ball crossed the line. It was as far back as Pedro Mendes. No, it wasn't. No, was it? You bribed the Russian linesman with caviar. I really have no idea whether the ball crossed the line. All I've ever seen is exactly, and this is why if somebody done this with the technology we have today, Adrian Lawrence, if the ball didn't cross the line, why didn't the West German? Do you know what? To this day, I still don't know, actually, Adrian. You're spot on with that. I mean, I've seen that loads of times. I know some of the German players protested, but the goalkeeper was the nearest one at the time. Yeah, you're very good point, actually. Extremely very. Yeah, being Welsh is me being Irish, and the ball was over the line, but the other three were offside. Yeah, exactly, Colin. You got this spot on. Hasn't someone looked into that goal using modern video technology? I think so. I'm not sure though. Somehow the fraud Maradona bribed the referee in that 86 one. Look, 86, right? Maradona did something which was outrageous, cheeky. You know, he did cheat. I will admit he did cheat, but he done it in such a way that you got to clap your hands at him for doing it, having the balls to do it as well. In Argentinian football, there is a lot of players do score balls with a hand in Argentinian football. It's part of their sort of nature, and I've seen him do for, and the way he scores the goal, right? You watch it, he scores the goal, and he's running away, and he keeps looking at the referee, and he's looking at the referee. Have I got away with this? Have I got away with this? And then you see him waving the other players over to make it like the goal's legit. When he notices the referee has given the goal, I think he's in disbelief himself that he got away with it. And how the linesman didn't see it was handball, how the referee didn't see it was handball, and how Peter Shilton didn't just barge Maradona out of the way, to be fair, I still don't know. And how the hell did a little man who was smaller than Peter Shilton jump higher than Peter Shilton and had the ball into the net? It's just, I don't know. It's one of those. The second goal, second goal was the best goal you'll ever see in your life. But the first goal, that was cheeky. The head of God. Of course, Colin, it was the head, never the hand at all. What are the Modern England fans talking about the hand of God? It was the head. Leslie Crawford says, I still have a newspaper in the loft from the day after the World Cup win in 66. Wow. I will not tolerate your lower nations criticism. The biggest nation of our lands. Keep living in your shadow. Of course, I am only joking. Look, let's get one thing here straight, Carl, right? When Ireland play England, you are coming on for the watch along. You're on. Matthew says, Scooby-Doo, McTominay will win Scotland the Euro. Scotland can't even get out of the fucking group. Peter Ramsey, I've just read that in 2016, Sky did a video analysis of that goal, and it proved conclusively that the ball went over the line. Oh, there you go. Never have known that, but there you go. Carl O'Dermott roasted the entire country. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna rise to Carl's attemptment of starting an international row between Ireland and England. I'm not going to rise to it. We're bigger than that over here. So, Carl, if you're watching, we're not going to rise to it. And as much as you think England are the best, Ireland will give you a wedgie. And that's what they're going to do. Matthew, if I was on YouTube, I would probably be cancelled from that moment. I'd love to see you on YouTube, actually, Carl. You know I want you to get involved in this channel, one way or the other. Matthew, Eric Ten Hag is a class manager. Let's be real. He carried United in his first season when nobody expected him to. Very, very good job. Tuchel, ? Tuchel, yeah. Well, Tuchel, guys, could be sacked tonight if Bayern Munich lose to Lazio in the Champions League. There is a rumor going around. If they lose tonight, he's out of the job. So we will let you know. But I am covering that game tonight, by the way, lads. The second, I owed you that from the debacle of the first leg. The second leg is going to be done better. Peter Rem says, I think the clubs need to stop sacrificing managers when things ain't going well as they should be. If United treated Ferguson the same way, he wouldn't have been out by 1989. And what then? Look, United proved if you give a manager time, he will win you trophies. They proved that. I think football now is a completely different beast, Peter, to what was back when Fergie, back in the 80s and 90s. I think the Premier League has made football a different beast. I think the Premier League has made clubs more, to give managers less time because they want success. Success means money. Money means more revenue coming into the club. And I think managers are more finger happy, if you know what I mean, to sack a manager by not giving them time. I can't remember a manager that spent longer. Probably Klopp's probably the only manager now that's longer service manager in the Premier League. Where you had Fergie for 26 years, you had Arsene Wenger for over 20 years at Arsenal. But no manager lasts more than 3 or 4 years at a club now, which is sad because if you've got a manager that knows how to run the club, he's got the club within his image, he's got the club working how he wants the club to be seen. I do feel that it will work in your advantage. But now I just feel that if a club doesn't win nothing and they don't get Champions League football, then the manager's out the door. And which has made football more of a difficult environment for managers to lay down roots and build something at clubs where back in the day, you were given that chance. You were given the time. The 70s and 80s, you were given time to get it right. But back then, you could buy players any time in the season. If you needed a striker in middle of February, you can go out and buy one. Now you've got 2 windows. So you're sort of planning ahead, especially in the summer window to January. And yet then when you get to January, you're sort of planning then to the end of the season. But if you buy anyone in January, you're desperate. You're desperate. You'd be paying silly money for players. So it's a lot different. Football's completely different now to what it was back in the day. And I don't think football is. I think football has lost something now to what it was back in the day. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm nearly 50 myself in a couple of years' time. If I'm seeing football through different eyes than I would do if I was younger. And maybe the younger generation, younger than me, see soccer and football in a different eyes to how I see it. And it's not through rose-tinted glasses. It's not through anything like that. But it's through that I feel that football is a time-limited environment now. You're given 2 seasons or a season and a half. If you're not getting it right, first season you could be brilliant. Next season you could have a disastrous start, and you're under pressure from the fans, you're under pressure from the board, you're under pressure from everyone to get it right. Where back in the day, yeah, you would still get the same pressures, but the board would say, right, we're going to give you time. And they get Ferguson time, and Ferguson repaid them with the success they had at United. You look at Liverpool, up to the 1990s, it was Bill Shankly to Bob Paisley to Joe Fagan to Kenny Dalglish. It was all through the club. It was all promote from within. And I think this is where some clubs do have let it down, that they don't set up a system where if one manager goes, the manager that he wants to see succeeding gets the job. He can keep on the way the club's being built and keep the momentum going. And I think it will. I think it's the only way to do it. I think it's the only way to run a football club. You cannot. We've proven that if you sack managers willy-nilly, it may give you a quick fix, but it's not for a long term. It's not going to give you a long-term fix. So we have to wait and see. But look, for me, Peter, I think you're spot on that. If Fergie was sacked in '89, would you have United went on to that success? Would the class of '92 would have come through? Would United would have won league championships and FA Cups and Champions Leagues? Probably not. So it's all about giving time. And as I said before, I don't feel clubs now give time because of the way the Premier League is now, because of the way soccer is now, the way the money rules the game. The game's not ruled by football men. It's ruled by money. It's ruled by the balance sheets. It's ruled by how much money a club can make or what's our turnover going to be. And do we have to keep this shareholder happy? Do we have to give this sponsor happy? Do we have to keep this sponsor happy? Where back in the day, it was all about the football club. It was all about the fans paid the players' wages. The fans were the ones, if they weren't happy, they would let the chairman know, we're not happy with this. Then it was down to the chairman himself to make a decision. Do I stick with this manager? Do I sack this manager? Now it's down to sponsors are not happy or the fans are not. The fans are the last to be listened to in this day and age of where soccer is as a business. The fans are the last people to be treated with any dignity or any fairness. It's all about TV. It's all about sponsors. It's all about other businesses. And the fans are the last ones. It's like these games that have 12 or half 4 in the Sunday afternoon. Where is the thought into them fans traveling? Say you're Newcastle and you're playing Southampton at 12:30 on the Saturday, or at 5:30 on the Saturday afternoon, or 4:30 on the Sunday afternoon. Where's your thought for their fans? And there isn't. And it's TV companies are ruling the roost. TV companies say, we want this game done in this day. And the clubs go, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. We will do what you say when we say it. And it has to change. It has to change. Carl Simpson says, Dermot, why is your avatar a woman with red hair? Is that your fantasy? No, I just keep forgetting to change it. Because we're linked with a full-time sports network, StreamYard, I keep forgetting to change it to my avatar. But if you are asking, that is Mrs. Tron back in the day when she was younger. Yeah, before she went grey. Before I went grey too. That's nothing to do with Mrs. Tron. It's nothing to do with Mrs. Tron turning me grey. It may have something to do with her turning me grey, but we're not saying that because she may throw a fry pan at me head. But yeah. Anyway, Matthew says, Carl Simpson, mate, just like how I roast jokes about Pakistan every time. Fair enough. We've got big up to GJ Samuel. Big up DJ says, afternoon coins. There is my favourite pick. Bart Simpson with a joint in his mouth. Fair play to you, DJ. You know I love that picture. I think our Doc is our new mascot. He is. What we're going to call it? That's what I want to know. Can't call it Docky Spurs, can we? Or Spurs Docky. Adrian Lawrence, the magical Mangrove defeat in England in the 50s is when the previous England invincibility. Yeah, it was. That's when you're hungry beat you 6-2 or 5-2. Peter M. The keeper didn't protest because it was a different world and refs' decisions was more respected than it would be now. Exactly. Can we give the duck a name? Yeah, we can. I don't know what you're going to give it. VAR still would have got the married. Yeah, they would have done. You can guarantee it would have gone to the VAR, and then it would have gone to the. It would have gone to the monitor. The referee would have ran over and looked at it 3 or 4 times. Then he would have done that, and then he would have done that. He would have still given the goal. Or would VAR picked it up? Who knows? Who knows? I blame Roger Hunt. He should have made sure that he kicked the ball in. A very good point, Colin, actually. Yeah, very good. That's a very good point, actually, just to make sure. How could the ball... I know, Colin. It's the most wondrous... It's one of those mysteries of all time. How did Maradona, a little short ass, outjump a 6'2" goalkeeper? To this day, it's still beggars belief. We've got Carl Simpson. I nominate Stirred Millard Banquet as the name for the duck. Okay. I wanted Gary Doherty. Okay. So this one, I've got Tuchel. I like Tuchel. Got treated like crap. I like Tuchel. He got treated like crap at Chelsea and Bayern. Yeah, I think he's unlucky. I tell you what, don't shout at me. He could end up at a big club after Bayern Munich. I know Mourinho's turned down the Bayern Munich job anyway. so he won't be going there. Peter M says, yes, Dermy. Yes, Dermy. Yes, Dermot. The push to make money has made managers the sacrificable lambs, a bit like Mayan kings. Bad harvest, out with their heart. Exactly. I would love to see Tuchel at United. He may end up there, Matthew, to be fair. Peter says the limited transfer windows and the shorter time frames means the managers are preoccupied with game planning while directors of football look at long term. True. We've got Leslie Crawford. If Tuchel can't win with Bayern, he has no chance at United. Peter says football has a lot less hype up. Football was a lot less hyped up before the Premier League. Yeah, it was. Football was a different game back then, Peter. You know that as well as I do. And a lot of people in the chat know that as well as I do. It was a different game. Football was back in them days, in the 80s and 90s. It was a game you knew, you could relate to it. You can't relate to them now. And Greg Stanley, love that. Duckle Ferguson. Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. How about the duck being called Glenn Waddle? That's it. That's the name for our duck, Glenn Waddle. That's it. I'm going to put this up in the poll for the watch along tonight, guys. So come back for that and let me know. This is going into a poll. Kane not going to win a trophy in Germany. Yeah, that's why tonight's watch along's come. Kane's last chance to win a trophy. As I said before, I want Harry Kane to win something at Bayern Munich, but I don't want Eric Dyer to win something at Bayern Munich. It's a chicken and the egg situation all over again. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, football it has. And I think it's made football more distant from the working class people, where football's now for rich people. It's for businessmen. It's for the day of the normal fan going. I think it's long gone. Okay, I'm a tourist. I come from Ireland to England to watch Tottenham play. So you can class me or Dave as a tourist fan, and me and Philip as a tourist fan. If you're doing it, that's the way you look at it. And that I can understand where some people do get a bit peed off that the atmospheres have changed. But I was at the Brighton game and I'm going to the Arsenal game. The atmosphere hasn't changed. I think it's more the people that are going has changed. I think that's the problem. And I think also you go to a game now, you can't sing and shout like you used to, because the steward would there tell you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't sing that song, you can't do this. And I think the enjoyment of going to matches has gone a little bit. You go to a match, you want to go to an atmosphere where it's crackling, where the atmosphere gives you a tingle down your spine. And I don't know, because I'm watching a lot of games on Sky, if the sound is different, but anytime I've gone to Tottenham, the atmosphere has been fantastic. But when you listen to a game on television, you feel the atmosphere is a bit dull. So I don't know, but look, Sky have done wonders for the British game. But I think also Sky have also been the catalyst of football going in a completely different direction to where it was. Now, you could do pros and cons from that. The pros are better stadiums, better facilities for fans, better facility for disabled people, better facilities for women and children going to games. The con side of it really is football is now not football and fans are not together. Players are not more attainable like they used to be. Players are more it's all done through social media. It's all done through different. The fans can't get to the players like they used to. So there's a lot of different. Look, Sky's been good. Sky's also been bad. I said the pros for Sky: better facilities for fans at stadium, better facilities for women and children, better facilities for disabled people, better stewarding, better policing. It's all helped to make going to a game safer and more enjoyable for people. But I feel that for the fans' connection to the players, I feel that's become more distant as the Premier League has progressed. And it's a sad thing where 20, 30 years ago, you could go into your local pub, you could find a couple of Tottenham players there having a drink and talking about the match. And I feel with VAR coming in, it's taken away what football is. Football's becoming more American football-like in some ways, especially with VAR, especially with them trying to bring in the blue card for sin bins. I just feel football's going to lose its way. And when there is a bang, it's going to revert back to what it was back in the 50s. But as I said, Sky's money going into the game has made the game better in many ways. But I feel in some ways it hasn't. And I will discuss this on Thursday on our Unholy Trinity podcast. And I will get Philip and Dave's view on that. I just feel as much as Sky's done good for the game, I feel another way the game has been distant. Carl, Kane looks depressed. I saw him after the draw with Bochum. He was distraught. Apparently his wife's not happy in Germany. Well, why would you be happy living in Germany? No disrespect to the Germans. He should come and live in Ireland. I mean, he could have played for Ireland, Harry Kane, because his grandparents are from Mayo. I've having words with him. In the 60s and 70s, the foreign managers in England were Scottish, yeah. And I tell you one thing, Colin, and I've always said this. I felt the Scottish managers made the English game better, and the Scottish players made the English game better than it was before they came. If you look at all the most successful clubs in England in the 70s, you look at, you had Bill Nick in the 60s, Yorkshireman. Bill Shankly, Yorkshireman. You look at the 70s, you look at Bob Paisley. Was he Scottish? No. But you look at Graham Souness, Kenny Dalglish for Liverpool. There was a lot. You got Dave Mackay. You got other players that came down to England and made it a better game, made the England game better in my view. And I agree with Colin. You look at the managers that were successful, most of them were Scottish. You look at this Kenny Dalglish, a prime example of that. A legend of Scotland came down to England to replace Kevin Keegan. At that time, he was a legend at Liverpool. And was it going to work? Was not going to work? He came down. He was a legend at Liverpool, won many trophies as a player, and led Liverpool to the double in his first season. I've got a Doc. I've got it. Doc Norris. No, Glenn Waddle. Glenn Waddle sounds better. I like Glenn Waddle. Carl, that was the same time he scored a hat-trick early in the season, the 7-0 win. I think they're now 10 points behind Bayern. Yeah, they are. Dermo, you've made her go grey. No, I haven't made Mrs. Tron go grey. Mrs. Tron's grown grey like me.
Mrs. Tron started going grey when she had her first child.
Yeah. Mrs. Tron and me are going grey we're just going grey. We're just growing old.
We're not old.
Mrs. Tron, just go back to do what you do. Thank you. Oh, Donald Duck. I'm keeping it as Glenn Waddle. I like Glenn Waddle. But democracy must rule. So I'll put this into a poll tonight, guys, and you can choose. Democracy has to rule. Democracy must rule. Maradona, Peter M says, might have sniffed a bit of baking powder before the match. Let him right. That is a very good point, Peter. Did he take the baking powder? I think he did. Mourinho didn't want the job because he failed his job. That's so true. DJ Samuel, Daffy Duck. Oh no, you've made me change my mind now. I love Daffy Duck. Yeah. Can we call it Ange Duck? Anyway, Duck Ange. I can remember when teams would rest players in the league games in preference for exactly Wembley. I remember that as well. How times have changed. How times have changed. Peter M said, I think we'll win trophies at Bayern, but not the Champions League. But I still reckon Bayern will win. I don't think they are, Peter. I really don't. And then we've got Leslie Crawford. Leicester made 9 changes in the last round of the FA Cup and still won. What is more important to their fans, another FA Cup or promotion? I think FA Cup is so important to everyone. Peter M., the biggest issue for football is the lack of interruptions for adverts. The NFL has frequent stoppages, and these offer advert opportunities, and that's what they're trying to do. I mean, yeah, I know what you're getting on financial terms. I do get it. Oh, now you want the English players, Dermo. It only works the other way. Well, look, we're still going to beat you anyway. The girls and the lads and the girls from Ireland are going to beat England in every group they're in. So there you go. Can't get used to it. Every great team had a Welsh Irish Scot. Exactly, Colin. Absolutely spot. Look at Tottenham. We had Dave Mackay, Scottish. We had Danny Blanchflower, Irish, and we have Cliff Jones, Welsh. Absolutely, Colin. Three of the greatest players that played for Tottenham: Mackay, Danny Blanchflower, and Cliff Jones. And then, of course, you had the great Jimmy Greaves. You had the great Bobby Smith as English players. You had Jack White, English player as well. It's always the bloody kids. Yeah, it is, Carl. You go and stick your Scooby-Doo hat on. There's a good lad. I cannot wait for the watch-along tonight. I know, neither can I. And then, if we lose, I will be deleting all social media, though. Yeah, if you lose. Now, guys, let's go through a little bit more news I've got. This came out today, actually. I was quite surprised. Tottenham did make inquiry for Liverpool defender in January. Tottenham asked Liverpool about Joe Gomez in January. The 26-year-old has impressed with his versatility this season. Spurs prioritised signing of a new defender and eventually brought in Radu Dragosin. Look, I wouldn't mind Gomez at Tottenham, and I think we should go for him in the summer. I know a lot of people are going to say, Dermot, you're talking shite. Dermot, you're delusional again, but I don't care. I think you do a good job for us. Peter M says, Carl Simpson, not always. Jack Charlton's Great Ireland team was built with a lot of Irish expats born in England, hence the joke. The FAI stands for Find an Irishman. Yeah, the FAI stands for Now We're a Bloody Joke. And we can't even appoint a manager for our Irish team. Look, Jack Charlton, there was a grandfather rule, and he exploited it. And we had the best generational players in that Ireland from 1988 to 2002. I think was the golden period between Jack Charlton and Mick McCarthy was the golden period in Irish soccer history. And I miss them days so much. I really do miss them days. I really do. Oh, of course he was Scottish. John White was Scottish. Of course he was. Why do I think he was English? Of course he was Scottish. Big up, Colin. Thank you for correcting me on that. I'll go and wash my mouth out after the stream. I promise. Now, champion to race for top 4. These are Villa's next 8 games. And I put this together and I couldn't believe it. Right, Villa are at home to us on Sunday. Then they got West Ham away, Wolves at home, Man City away, Brentford at home, Arsenal away, Bournemouth at home, and then Chelsea at home. How many points, guys, do you think Villa will get out of their next 8 games? Look, we're going to beat them Sunday. That's a given. Of course, we're Tottenham Hotspur and we're the greatest team in the world. West Ham, that could probably a win for Villa. So that's 3. Wolves, 6 because it's at home. So that's a loss there away to Man City. I'm going for a Brentford win here for some reason, but I think Brentford will win. The way Arsenal are playing at the moment and the way they're playing that last night, I can't see Villa winning, but you never know. But I'm going for a draw. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 13 points I'm going for Villa's 8. And then, of course, our next 8 games, we've got Villa away on Saturday. On Sunday, we've got Fulham away, then the following weekend. We're at home to Luton on the Saturday. That weekend, then we're away to West Ham, home to Forest, away to Newcastle. Then we've got Man City at home, and then we've got the North London derby. So, guys, let me know in the comment section, how many points do you think Villa and Tottenham will get in the next 8 games as we're getting nearer to the run-in for the Champions League? And 5th place could still be Champions League football for next season. Now, guys, tonight, of course, it is Bayern Munich against Lazio, a game you can hear live here on THFC Till I Die and on the Full-Time Sports Network. Lazio take a 1-0 lead into that. Real Sociedad are 2-0 down to PSG. So I can't see Real Sociedad winning that, but let me know. I think Bayern Munich are going out tonight. I really do, guys. Now, this was, I said it earlier, but Tuchel will leave Bayern Munich at the end of the season. Bundesliga giants are reportedly prepared to cut ties earlier if things continue to get worse. Bayern are one. If they go out the Champions League tonight, I could see him being out of a job in the morning. Now, this bit, I saw this bit of news as well, which was bowled me over when I read the article. Banned Serie A referee Marco Di Bello to serve as fourth official during the Real Madrid versus RB Leipzig. Del Bello controversially disrupted 3 red cards during Lazio's loss to Milan on Friday. Madrid's season has already been rocked by officiating controversies. Now, this referee is being banned in Serie A. How is he allowed to be a fourth official in the Champions League game if you're banned in your National League? Also, Turney as well. The referee has been taken down for this weekend's group of games after what happened at Forest at the weekend. And for me, that's bizarre. That's bizarre. What time does the game kick off tonight, guys? Well, here we go. It is playing at the Allianz Arena on the 5th of March. Kickoff time, 8 o'clock, Ireland, England, the European time. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time, midday Pacific time. Your referee tonight is Slavko Vinci of Slovenia, and the VAR is Niki Kalovic, also from Slovenia. The head-to-head record is Bayern Munich with 2 wins, Lazio with 1. The last meet, of course, was Lazio's 1-0 win over Bayern on Valentine's Day. No draws between the sides at all. This is Bayern Munich's last 5 games, of course, only 1 win in the last 5, which is horrendous for Bayern Munich. Of course, they lost to Bayern Leverkusen 3-0. Then they lost to Lazio in the Champions League. They lost then after that 3-2 to Bochum. Then Bayern Munich beat RB Leipzig 2-1. And then they drew 2-2 at the weekend. 1 win at the last 5 for any team is bad. But for Bayern Munich, it is unreal. It really is. And then for Lazio's last 5 games, of course, they lost to Milan at the weekend, but they lost then to Fiorentina too. So really, they're only 2 wins out of the last 5. So they're in all competitions. So they're not in great form either. So we have to see what happens. It really is going to be a tight game. Of course, if you want to watch it, you watch it, you listen it to here on THFC Till I Die. But of course, you can watch it on TNT Sports 1, Discovery Plus, and the Discovery Plus app. If you're in the United States, you can watch it on Paramount Plus, Univision Now, 2Done USA, 2Done app, 2Done.com, and VIX. And if you're in Canada, you can watch it on a DAZN television. Of course, this is the predicted lineups for tonight's games. We've got Bayern Munich with Nuna and goal, Kemmerich, Kim, De Ligt, Davis, Palovic, Gottegeta, Telly, Muller, Mussolina, and Kane. And then for Lazio, it's Music, Gilla, Ramirello, Pellegrini, Gordondinzo, Catali, Alberto, Anderson, Immobile, and Zakin Jan. I've just murdered every one of them names, and I know I have. So there you go. So that is all your build-up, guys, for tonight's game. And also, if you can do me a favor, do me a big, big favor you can, guys. Please hit the QR code above my head for Wrath Energy, our official partner of THFC Till I Die. Please do. If you do hit that link, my box is on its way. Can't wait to open up. And I'm going to do a video of me opening up the box and what I get and go over it. But if you do link onto that QR code, please use the code given to you, THFC TID, for your 10% discount. Please do. It helps us. It helps us immensely. It helps Wrath Energy get out their great product, and it helps us grow as a challenge. And I know you do a lot for the memberships, and you put a lot of for super chats as well if you can, and super stickers. It does help, but please do. It really does help. I'll go through the last few of the chats and then we'll call it a shift. Arsenal won't win the league, and this is going down to final games. It is. Peter Rams laughing. Spurs winning the double team. 6 Englishmen, 3 Scots, 1 Irish, 1 Welsh. Yeah. That point, every successful team in the 70s and 80s, even the 90s, had at least an Irishman, a Scotsman, and a Welsh. There's a joke in there somewhere along the line. Lacey Crawford, I tell you, Arsenal can't win the league at our place. No. Please, no. I reckon 2-0 Bayern tonight. Please tell me that Arsenal can't win the league. No, they can't. They can't win it. No. That's going to the last game of the season, by the way. Significantly Bayern won at home. Yeah. Carl, I watched the match. Lazio looked like they were going to get 6 red cards. I know it was a bit bizarre. Leslie, I'm not the only one. No, I'm not really sure we can do it, but it can't be discounted. Matthew's going for, I would say, 17 points for Tottenham. Peter says, call me a dreamer, but there's no reason why we can't win. Why not? Why can't we, Peter? You bang on. You bang on. It all depends what Wolves turns up. You're spot on, Peter. Why can't we go between now and the end of the season and win every game? Why not? I absolutely agree with you on that. You're spot on and that. Thanks again, Dermot. No problem, Peter. And then Arsenal have scored the most goals this season without a top striker. That's so true. But listen, guys, that is THFC Till I Die, the daily Hotspur news show. Not a lot of news around today, but I've had a giggle doing it. And I do apologise for the interruptions, having to go away. It's not professional by me, and it's not good standards either. So I do apologise for that, and please, I hope you can accept it. And we will be back to normal tonight. We are doing the watch along, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm back on 7:45. Whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm now going to show Mrs. Tron my new haircut and how my beard trimmed. Hope she likes it. If you don't see me later, you know she's named me to the wall somewhere, and then I'm just dangling, waiting for something to happen. Anyway, on that bombshell, come on, you Spurs, in Big Andrew we trust.